was March of 2008, and I was driving in Tampa, coming from a meeting, going to another meeting for work. And I was stopped at a traffic light and looked in my rearview mirror, which I have a habit of doing, and didn't see anything. And then all of a sudden, I saw a car coming at me with a gentleman reaching down for his cell phone on the right side of the car with his foot on the gas. And he hit me probably at about 60 miles an hour. And I'd never been in an accident, never experienced it. The seatbelt did what it should do, and it kind of pinned me back, but unfortunately my neck took the brunt and my neck kind of snapped. And having had 2 previous neck surgeries, I knew that that was not a good situation. And I had grabbed my phone and just remembered my doctors telling me, don't move, don't move. So I called 911, and then the police came and took me out on a board and took me to the hospital. So, shortly thereafter, the accident, I had a lot on my mind, obviously, with the accident, and a lot of pain, going to doctors, trying to figure out what the next step was. I actually was relocated with my job in the middle of all of it to North Carolina. So now I'm in North Carolina, starting a new job in a lot of physical pain, trying to get help from doctors in North Carolina, which was difficult. And then I realized, through the frustration of that I needed to get an attorney, was what I needed to do next, the next step. So I really didn't know where to begin for that. But I did call, Clearwater, because I knew I wanted it to be, a local attorney. I felt very comfortable with living in North Carolina and being able to work with an attorney if it was the right person to be able to do that. So I called an attorney that had handled, some of my personal wills, that type of thing, and he gave me the recommendation of Jim Dodson. And that's where it began. Just in that first conversation, I think the reason that I gained the trust that I needed to make the hiring decision was the type of questions that he asked. The questions, again, were related to me, what it was, what my expectations were, what it was I was going to need for support. We talked about how we would communicate and what I could expect, because I wasn't going to be face-to-face with Jim. I was in North Carolina, he was in Clearwater. And trust is, it's kind of a funny thing. I think sometimes you just kind of know. But I also felt, he shared with me experiences, his experience, his credentials. And I think the thing that made me gain trust was just the type of individual person that Jim is. I felt it. I felt it right away that he was not looking for, to take on an accident case and get what he could get and then just move on. He took me on as a person, as a client first, and then, expertly handled the situation with the injury.